Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Sorry, like my nose itches. Oh, okay. So the energy for the day as a Gemini full moon, I'm gonna try to channel this. I'm gonna try to channel it. So, born on a Gemini full moon. So we still got some planets in Scorpio, some in Sagittarius, which I have stellium in both those. So the last couple days I've kind of been like, let's get to the bottom of all the things all at once, which is an impossible energy to step into. So you just pick priority and move. So aside from the parasitic narrative and that spectrum of whatever it is with unequal energy exchanges and whatnot, and I told you where the power is, how to conduct it, and then all the like subconscious undercurrents that might be sweeping you under without you knowing it. The second thing is huge, and it's been huge for a while for me anyway, is getting safe in the body. Safe in the body, safe in the mind, safe in the heart. And I know that, like, lady, do you have any idea what the fuck is happening in the world today? I do. And some of those things are happening to me as we speak. So, that's what I say to that. So, okay, repeat after me. Hand is the little butterfly. Over the heart, not over the chest, over the heart. Over the heart. Just a slight off of the center of the rib cage, okay? Okay? That's step number one. Because the functional breathing is going to take you immediately out of panic mode. When you're in panic mode, you're breathing incorrectly. If you are breathing correctly, you can't be in panic mode. Want to fight about it? Fine, here we go. Now do that. See, even my dog's like, oh my god, what happened? Lady, are you okay? See? Panic mode. So if you breathe deep, I'm fine. Everybody's okay. Who's that? See this puppy joke? Okay. Here's the yo-yo. Okay. It's so sweet. Okay. So he senses that because he knows, like, oh my gosh, mom's stressed out. So the notion is, if you breathe deep into your diaphragm, which is that muscle that surrounds your organs underneath the rib cage, it's like a big U organ or U muscle that surrounds and protects the organs below the rib cage. Okay. So when you breathe into that, like, you want to put your hands, so here's your belly button, put your hand right underneath your belly button and kind of push on that lower, almost into your pelvic bone, but don't push like all the way in. But you want to make sure that that part of your belly is expanding. Okay, that's the important part, is that you're breathing all the way down as far as you can. And that is signified when the organs get pushed all the way down to the bottom of the belly. Okay. So no, you're not feeling your lungs down there. You're feeling your lungs expand and push the organs down. Okay, so we understand a little bit of an anatomy type of idea. Okay, so it's not, you're not trying to fill your lungs that far. You're trying to push the organs all the way out, because we are so trained as a society to, like, look like we've just volunteered as tribute to build the fucking pyramids. So, like, pushing your belly out is not ladylike. They're gonna think I'm ugly. Yeah, the most shallow creature on the earth is gonna think you're ugly. That's probably a good thing. Okay, so, right, consider yourself spared, ladies. So, when we can breathe deep, and again, like, it should be kind of like a wave going through your body. So if you put one hand on your chest, fuck it, I'm not going to be able to make it down there, but I just told you where to put the bottom one. Sorry. Okay. My little cat. I've got cat toys. And a blanket on the floor. And a dog bed. Okay. So breathe all the way down to the bottom of your belly. And then your chest. Then your chest should fill up. And then your chest should go down, and then your belly goes down. So it should be kind of like a wave of air moving through your body that you could sense with your hands, okay? That's how you're breathing when you're calm, at rest, at ease, yada, yada, yada. So that's number one, to get safe in the body, okay? Number two, if you are having a panic attack, there's a couple different things you can do. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. Okay, and the other thing is too, we can go through this practice right now. So I want you to find right now, in this very moment, and it doesn't matter where you are, I want you to find all the squares in your environment. That's all? Are you sure there's not a few more? I'll wait. All the squares in your environment. Okay. Now look for all the circles. Lady, this is child's play. You're damn right. You're damn right it's child's play. Play. Okay, how about the triangles? Finding triangles in your environment? It's starting to get fun, isn't it? You got a little smirk on your face. You don't know what the fuck, but everybody's looking at you like you Mona Lisa right now. Okay, now, the fun doesn't stop there. Where's the red in your environment? Look for the color red. How about the color green? Purple? Not in my environment, yours. Okay? That's how you also get in the body. So, like, if you're, let's take an example. Say you're going to an important meeting and you got to drive to get there, blah, 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 blah. Take a couple minutes, get your butt out to that car early. Before you even put the keys in the ignition, do the thing I just told you to do. Look for the squares, the circles, the rectangles, the whatever, the colors, the whatnot. Okay, look for those things before you even get to the meeting. Okay, that's going to calm your system immediately. So number one, you're going to get there safely. You're not going to drive like some crazed maniac. Keeping everybody else safe on the road. And number two, you're going to have an even greater sense of calm when you get there and realize how amazing you felt even just on the drive there. So that's going to build your confidence all the way to the wherever the hell you're going, right? Okay, so then when you get there, when you get to the meeting, okay, I think I showed you this the other day, but we'll do it here for body purposes because it's coming up with this, and then you're gonna need it for Monday. So a little bit of and then so there's your clavicle bone, and then you got kind of like just a little bit of indent, and then like that bone that kind of sticks out right at the top of the rib cage. Okay, that's called the symphysis gland. So you just gently tap it. Okay, don't force the breath. Don't force it. Feel it. Feel it. It'll automatically come. It'll automatically come. I'm not kidding. Try it. Use yourself as the experimenter. Okay? You don't need a schnotty white coat in your face trying to suck your blood and torture your cervix. The lovely part of the future is coming on. I think Gorilla said something to that effect. Anyway, so focus on that. Get yourself there. And this is going to sound counterintuitive to everything that we've been taught, because it's like, oh, scan for the trauma, talk about the trauma, focus on the trauma. Okay. Oh, fuck, it's backwards. So it says, pleasure is power. Okay, pleasure is power. Okay, you know what? We're gonna draw a couple cards for this deck because I love this deck. My energy code worker gave me this deck. Oh my god. Okay, that's a lot of cards. Okay, I can barely get my hands around it. Look at that. Woo! And I love the symbol. Being a Saggy, I love that. Saggy rising and stellium. Boop, boop. All right. What do we got for collective? Other than... Ooh, close. You're flipping a little bit. What does the collective need to hear? Okay, here it is. Okay. Be someone's yes. Be someone's yes. Take up space. Only seek to be more of yourself. And you can practice reading backwards on my channel. New talent unlocked. Okay. Your heart is a genius. Yes, it is. If you have to demand it, is it worth receiving? Really? Really? That's such a great question. Ooh, choose to shine. Look at there. What here do we get a review? Okay, and broadcast your essence. Oh. Beloved. Ooh, angels are waiting for your call. Okay. See what's in the subconscious undercurrent? The light never lies, and neither does the night. Okay. Nothing changes without you. Ooh. Respect your wishes. Bliss isn't something you work for. It's something you follow. Rameme. Keep statistics away from your dreams. Absolutely. And negative feelings are wake-up calls. Not to be gaslit. Don't gaslight yourself. That's how other people gaslight you. If you find yourself being on the receiving end of gaslighting, it's because you're already gaslighting yourself. That energy could not come into your field if you weren't already like yourself. Okay, tell people how you feel. Ooh. Bold and the brave. Love is never regrettable. It's not. I know we like to like tell everybody it is. Oh, it hurt. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, when you can walk away from a situationship or a whatever the hell it was and say, I gave it everything I had and I held nothing back, you don't lose any sleep. That's the beauty of it. You're not going to lose any sleep over it because you didn't freaking hold anything back. You're like, they knew and they still needed to find out. So it's a thing. Okay. And you're the one, not anybody else. You're the one for you. You are healing. Okay, one more. Ooh, that's going to trigger a lot of people. Your feelings are the sign you've been waiting for. No, feelings lie. Yeah, that's your self-gaslighting yourself again. Feelings are your roadmap. So how do we dissect that in 15 freaking minutes? So your feelings are going to tell you not only where you are on your journey, but they're going to tell you also, they're going to give you a heads up as to where you're going on your journey. So like, I'm going to take literal road signs. I don't want to touch your feelings. Okay. They're yours. You function underneath them. I don't want anything to do with telling you how to deal with your feelings. I'm just going to give you a weird example over here and you translate. I'm not here to give life instructions. I am here to hand you some tools for you to use, hopefully for your own advantage rather than self-sabotage. Okay. Although I don't think I've handed anything out that could provide self-sabotage. If I have, I take it back. Okay, so let's go with watch for fallen rock. That's all over here in the US of A. So translate that into whatever feeling hook, blah, 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 blah. Okay, watch for fallen rock. Okay, so rather than wish to avoid the fallen rocks, just keep watch. Doesn't say listen for the rock to yell at you that it's coming down the mountain, or listen for the rock that's coming down the mountain that's telling you it's not coming down the mountain. Whatever it is, okay? It's not saying listen. It's not listen. It's watch, which is witness. You're witnessing. Is it coming down the mountain? Are we gonna get crushed by a rock? Is the road gonna be closed? Blah 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 blah. Okay, so this is where the gaslighting comes in, right? So like, say, there is rock on the side of the road. It's not blocking the path, but there's evidence right there that there's fallen rock. So something's crumbling around you, right? Might want to take a little swing into the nearest gas station or cafe, have some lunch, and decide if this journey is worth you continuing. Of course it is. It's always worth it. But I'm saying as in a relationship context. Do we want to risk something falling apart to bits and pieces because whatever the heck it might be? Again, I'm not going to give you examples because I'm not going to tell you how to proceed. I'm going to tell you how to look for things, and the feelings are the sign you've been looking for. So back to the gaslight thing. If you're gaslighting yourself, somebody else is already going to be able to gaslight you. Period. The end. Like, you are gaslight central if you're busy lying to yourself. Okay. And that's the truth that nobody wants to look at. That's the unfortunate part, is if you perceive yourself in a victim mode, which is another huge theme for today. If you perceive yourself to be the victim, you will continue to be the victim. But I didn't ask for that. No, of course, nobody says, hey, could you please? We have an internal unchecked processes that everybody is screaming at you to ignore via I'm going to demand this. I'm going to traumatize that. I'm going to tell you to shut the F up. I'm going to tell you that that's a lie. I'm going to tell you that your feelings are not facts. I'm going to tell you blah, 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 blah. Ignore all of your experiential data points and listen to the schnauzy white coat with all the statistics. Okay, and be gaslit out of your own reality. Because propaganda and institutionalized brainwashing is the global normal. So stop with the whole like, okay, I get well, and that's the other part too, is that's not gonna bode well for those people who will not sit down with their feelings and admit how they feel. That's gonna produce dis-ease in the body itself. So I cannot stress this enough. Please pay attention to your feelings. You don't need to bring them into your body and then flush them out of your electromagnetic field as if they are gods themselves. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't do that. Okay? You just need to acknowledge them. They're road signs, not entities to be invoked. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I hope that. So you don't take the feelings into your body. That's how society says, oh, look, we just had a video about this. Hey, this feeling I'm feeling is now yours. Here's my box of darkness. You can't behave that way. You can't feel that way. You can't say that. You can't do that with my box of darkness that I just handed you. So it's them trying to tell you how to handle their box of darkness that you chose to open. Oh. So much for non-crunchies. Okay, so I'm gonna take a drink after that one. I can't say sorry because I'm not sorry. I want you to learn from that. I want you to grow. I want you to be wiser, stronger, healthier, more solid in your own skin. I want you to feel comfortable in this sweet little meat suit that you were gifted in your own temple. Okay, so when somebody goes, here's my box of darkness, what are you going to do with it? Be like, nothing. It's your box, not my box. I didn't make you say those things. I didn't make you feel those things that you're telling me are mine to carry. Now, that doesn't mean that, like, if you say or do something that's irrational or unfair or hurtful, you don't have to take any responsibility for the repercussions for that, because there will be repercussions. And if they truly care about you and themselves, if they have everybody's best interest at heart, they are probably going to distance themselves as far as they can from you if you continue to abuse and go about your life so unconsciously as to cause harm. So that's the repercussion for that. But what I can tell you is it's an instruction. It's not a punishment, it's an instruction. Okay, so when you F around, you're gonna find out. So it's not that you F around more privately, or you F around more quietly, or you F around more passively, or you begin to assess your emotional state before you start engaging with people. Going, okay, do I feel like a moody bitch today? Am I gonna like lose my shit over the smallest of smallest? Okay, I need to go inside myself and not do that. I'm going to keep to myself and keep quiet. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. And some people have a really big issue with that, and that's okay. They can have an issue with that. But it's a matter of bringing that energy to a place of comprehension, not a place that I'm going to stuff it down or I'm going to spew it out on somebody else. I'm going to gaslight the crap out of myself and therefore gaslight the crap out of everybody else in this situation. So, and a lot of people will expect you to do that. A lot of people will expect you to gaslight them. this is the other side of the toxicity. A lot of people grow up in families where they are expected to gaslight. Man, why we gotta unpack all this crap today? Okay. A lot of times your family expects you to gaslight them. And gaslighting doesn't always feel terrible. Gaslighting is sometimes, no, that didn't hurt my feelings. That was fine. That shouldn't have hurt their feelings. That has nothing to do with blah 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 blah. So it's gaslighting to the emotional extent of excusing that person's behavior, kind of like a church group thing, where it's like, well, you know, Nancy really fucked up the other day, and then Nancy, you know, doesn't want to deal with the repercussions of Nancy's bad choices. So Nancy's family all gets together. No, you didn't do anything wrong. You know, you had every right to blah, 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 blah. You should have done that. You were totally justified in whatever the hell bad behavior it was, right? Meanwhile, the rest of the congregation is going, Nancy, did you lose your shit? Because I'm pretty sure you lost your shit. Maybe you should apologize to the person you lost your shit on, and then go collect your shit, so we don't have to walk around in your shit for the rest of the freaking holiday season. You know what I mean? That kind of scenario. Where Nancy's family or closest whatevers are gaslighting her by lying to her and telling her, no, you didn't have to do that. No, or no, you don't have to take responsibility for that. No, you didn't do anything wrong. Or it could be the other way around, which is usually the case, where the community will go after like the person that Nancy targeted. So if Nancy has like a hierarchy thing going on, Nancy's going to target the lowest whatever common denominator threat usually she perceives and take it out, right? So the whole congregation could turn around and gaslight Nancy, going, yeah, that newbie XYZ from out of town that just moved in, blah, 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 or, you know, that person that switched from Baptist to Methodist, or whatever the hell it was, right? Whatever goes on in the church. That dumb bitch wore white after Labor Day. She deserved it. That crazy nonsense, right? That's gaslighting. So oftentimes the people that, vicious savage. Just wants to get up on a chair. So the gaslighting usually comes in many different flavors, in many different forms, many different blah 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 blahs. Here, baby. All right, I know we're gonna do this later today. Okay, sorry, not sorry. Come on, go on. I just moved them for you. You can get up there now. Okay, so the gaslighting happens however it happens, right? But oftentimes we are, as like children or community members, are automatically assumed that we're going to step in this gaslighting role, okay? You know, for everybody who likes to say, oh, Scorpio's so ride or die, that's pretty much society. You're jumping on one bandwagon or another. Okay, so comprehending how the gaslighting has already happened, how you already been installed with it. You didn't really consent to it, because oftentimes it happens when you're so young, you don't consent. That's not an excuse. That's not a invitation to call up mommy dearest and start yelling. Okay, that's not what I'm saying here. I am saying that this program within your subconscious energetic output just needs to be vetted. Just needs to be sifted through. Take the little golden nuggets with you. Dump the garbage or the sediment back in the river so it can form something else eventually down the line. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? So and it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you become conscious of it, you're going to be less likely to be like, yeah, I'm going to pig pile on that person because Everybody else is pigpiling on that person. So just be mindful of things, okay? And oftentimes, like, societal systems will instruct you to pigpile on, who to pigpile on, how to pigpile, and there's a massive, massive undertaking of narrative that has to go on there for pigpiling to happen. It's a huge thing. It happens a lot. Don't don't start getting down on yourself about it. B, forgive yourself. C, maybe if you feel the need to call anybody, call the person who got pigpiled, okay? Or, say, if you were the person who was pigpiled, say, okay, now I get what was happening there, and now I understand the subconscious undercurrent behind that, and I comprehend it. I don't stand under it. I comprehend it, and I can move forward in a more wise manner so that when I feel that tidal wave of coming, I can do what I can do for myself in that scenario, which is just tell everybody the fours of the whats. Anyway, so if you find yourself in the next couple days or in the next week having to sift through a lot of choices, modalities of existing in the world, because the moon rules our subconscious, our inner world that we don't really let anybody see. That's why I'm tapping on it today. Just remember, to be gracious and kind to yourself, because a lot of times this is stuff that we would never consciously intend, but we put out into the environment anyway, because that's what everybody does, or how we were raised, or whatever the heck it is. So this is part of becoming a whole and sovereign human being, realizing that this is all connected, we're all one, and that there's so many things splitting us into bits and pieces and shards, and dividing this and dividing that, and conquering this and demolishing that. So this is not about calling people up and shaming and screaming and yelling. This is about going inside, getting all the stuff out that has prevented you from feeling safe in your own body. When you are in instruction mode to constantly be on somebody else's case, you are never going to feel safe in your own skin. Pinky fucking swear. If you're constantly going divide, blah, 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 you're not going to feel safe in your own skin. So if you can take the divisions, see them for what they are, and say, hey, not going to partake. All finished. Da-da-da-da-da. Then the safety really starts to set in. Okay? Okay. I think that's it for the day. Pretty sure. Keep your flame.